Last time in Polymorph Self, the true chronicle of adventure and skullduggery by Master Sorcerer, Scholar, and people's favourite Onas Ondiri. The team headed northeast through the wind and rain and emerged from the mire, going towards a place marked on the map only as Lookout. There they found a fate worse than death, a goth poetry slam down. Bjorn used his bluff skills to send the band of eyeliner-loving elves on a wild goth chase. A trek across the moorland was interrupted by the sight of a terrifying bone-white dragon being ridden across the sky by an unknown figure. The team then pushed on to arrive at the religious town of Mission Adherent by night. There they found a bizarre coterie of carnies and freaks. Bjorn sneaked up to one of the wagons to discover a strung-out Arpitani, who was very much in need of her medicine.
But at that moment, her shuddering becomes quite violent and then sort of subsides again, and she's really sweating, you can see, and like really out of it.
Hey, Arpitani, Daddy's got your medicine. I clink a vial against the bar. Just a little clink.
A little clink. There is a flicker of recognition. She momentarily looks over at you, but then you see she's kind of looking through you, so to speak, and then looks back at her feet again.
Oh, shit. Okay. I scramble back down underneath the cart.
Okay.
Now I want to do my listening, which is a +6.
Okay.
It's a 19 +6, 25.
Okay. You get under the cart, and under the shadow, you sort of are able to observe and listen to everything going on inside the circle. And it's weird. You also see there's like 4 hobgoblin guards across one side, sort of behind one of the, just sort of hanging in around the carts on the other side. You count 12 of these people who, from the conversation, they call themselves acolytes, a common word nowadays for like follower. They're not wearing heavy armor. Yeah, in the world, it has that meaning too. They got like they're not wearing heavy armor, but they do seem to have like leather underneath their robes, and they're carrying these cudgels, and they're talking together. And this guy with this really grotesque, weird, freaky, trippy, like silver head around his head, with his distorted face, is walking between them, talking to them, and he has a really weird, rasping voice. And you hear one of them refer to him by name, and it's a very strange name, Agonosvos. And they're being very deferential to him and in awe of him. And you see he has all kinds of equipment and raiments of a cleric, much like this previous guy you met. And their conversation changes to the next day's plans. And he orders them to pack up what he refers to as the carnival in the morning and to head west across the old King's Road towards the temple and the portal, so that we can return home with our prize to our wondrous dark city. That's what you hear. Now, you've been here a while. To remain longer, you could, but it would require another check in case somebody random was like, walking by the cart, but you are under the cart.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick that lock. I got a +8 lock pick.
Open lock. So you're going to try and break in. You're going to try and break into that thing. So this is a good quality steel lock on a steel cage, so it's DC 20.
I'm a good quality lock pick.
And you've got +8, right? So now, here's the thing. Usually, you can try several times, but there's a bunch of people around you. So if you fail, you can try again. But every extra try you take, I'm going to make you retake your move silently roll to not be discovered. But the first one is on me, so to speak.
Brother. All right. Rolling. That's a 16 +8. Yay.
You skillfully, quickly, and quietly work your magic with your thieves' tools and slip the lock off and open the door a crack, and no one has noticed.
Okay. I gingerly work my way into the cage.
You're in there. She looks at you now. Now you're closer. It seems that just whatever's happening to her, it's like reduced her sort of eyesight to a sort of a near blur, and she acknowledges that you're there, but sort of blinks and grimaces, and the sweat's still pouring off her, and she looks up close. Now you're up close more. She looks really ill.
Okay. The only thing I can think to do is I'm gonna hold the vial way far away from my face, open it, dab into her face.
You open the vial, and the smell of Elixiveri reaches your nostrils.
Son of a bitch.
And by the way, you've still got the effects. They haven't worn off yet.
Nice.
It's like 3 days on and 1 dab. And you have to make but you're kind of more used to it this time, okay? So it's a willpower check against DC 12.
DC 12.
What's your willpower?
2.
Okay.
50-50.
4.
You take a dab. You start putting it to her mouth. You smell it. You start shaking. And you're like, you're kind of looking at your finger. You're looking at her. You look at the weird freak high priest dude with the silver mask. You sort of look roughly back in the direction where you think they might be. And you just stick that dab right on your tongue. And
what noise does it make?
You don't know because you're just seeing all the colours of the rainbow right now. Now, it doesn't seem as bad as before, but you're definitely tripping balls. And here's the thing. You're still aware of your surroundings and you are able to act, but you're kind of, everything is like bigger and thrumming and moving. So you can kind of take actions, but you're tripping balls and you're not really aware of what's going on. But you do see the smell of it bring her around too, and her sort of take the bottle out of your hand and take a dab herself. And now you're only vaguely aware of this, but she seems to sort of like almost spring to life immediately, almost as if by magic. And you can hear some words echoing around in your brain, and they seem to be like, "Who the fuck are you? Where am I? What the? Look at all those fucking weirdos.
How long has he been gone?
Where's my sword?" And she seems like not impressed. And then you hear a sort of like tap. You feel a tapping on your head. Then you notice that she's trying to like, she's slapping you around the face.
The tables have turned.
She's slapping you around the face, and she's noticed the door's open, and she's like, "We got to find my sword. We got to find my sword."
No, we just need to get out of here.
Okay, what that sounds like to her is,
I'm going to talk normal again because it's all the same to her. Apparently, we just need to leave.
"We need to find the sword," and with that out of your control, she goes out of the unlocked door and disappears.
How long has this been going on for?
Now, here's the thing. At this point, let's see. Sneaking there. That's 1. Because each sort of careful search around action is 10 minutes in the real time. Sneaking there, doing the listen, undoing the lock, and screwing around. So like 40 minutes have elapsed.
Really?
Feels like it.
Right. Sorry, guys.
So wait a second.
Wish you guys were sneaky.
Back to you 3. 40 minutes have elapsed.
Should we maybe?
What can we do?
But no activity has like erupted or any alarms have gone off.
Are we very worried about him? Because
I'm kind of sneaky too. Maybe I should just
sneak
over to where he went.
You could do that, or I could
farther.
use my invisibility potion.
Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't you do that?
Because I think this is an emergency.
Why don't I sneak kind of closer to where he was?
You could do that, yeah.
And that way, when you're doing your invisibility, if anything goes wrong, I'm close by.
If I screw up, you'll be there to save me. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just putting in contingency plans. Apparently, we need them.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the contingency for the contingency. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm
Fancy.
What about you, Seyda?
I'll wait here in case anyone needs any swimming.
Any swimming saves or cleaving? I neck my invisibility potion.
You become invisible.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of walk in the direction that I saw.
Yeah, you confidently walk that way. Hjani, what are you doing again?
I'm waiting a couple of steps and trying to get closer, but still in the cover of darkness to where we saw Bjorn go.
Okay, get closer, but not close enough to make a check. Yeah, right. Okay, so, by the way, you have no idea what Onas is.
Yeah.
He's invisible.
Invisible.
So, Onas, you go first and quickly, and you make it all the way to where you saw him going, and you see him, like, sort of, rubbing his eyes and trying to get out of this cage, which is open and unlocked. And he sort of sees you. Now, make another willpower save against 12. Can you get control of your senses now you're more used to this thing?
5.
No, it overtakes you. You do know you feel like someone is looking at you, but there's no one there, and you just think you must be tripping balls, and you're just sort of hanging off the door, basically. But no one's noticed yet, and this is what you're seeing: a sort of an out of it looking Bjorn trying to sort of crawl his way out of an unlocked cage, and you're invisible. And Hjani, you sort of see this from about 30 feet away, just outside the ring.
I'm going to creep back to. Do I know where Hjani is?
You see her back there.
I can see her. So I'm going to hold on, Bjorn. Just don't make a sound. I'll be right back.
You're hearing voices now, as far as you're concerned.
Oh, Jesus. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cast sleep on Bjorn, because I'm worried that he's in a real bad.
Right, so you're level 3, right? And that's a level 1
Bad
spell.
news for you. I'm immune to sleep.
Yeah, you're a half elf. Yeah, that's right. And you're an elf, and you know that too.
Okay, so I knew that. Well, that was all I had at my
wait.
sorcerer's sleeve.
You cast sleep, and nothing happens, and then you go, oh.
Oh yeah, just that thing. I remembered like that death touch all over again. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna.
This invisibility goes on for quite a while until you touch or attack another living thing.
Oh right, yeah, okay. So I obviously don't touch him, and I creep back to where Hjani is, and I say, "He's tripping balls. We've got a problem."
Suddenly, out of nowhere, Onas's voice appears out of the darkness, and you had no idea he was near.
Oh, Jesus. I'm glad I wasn't saying anything to myself.
Like how you'll
Like
never
how
live up to the
depressing.
impossible standards that your family have set for you.
Oh, goodness.
All right, here's the situation. He's rolling about, tripping in that cage.
I guess I'm going to have to sneak in and try to grab him.
You know what? We could use a diversion. I think there's some other kind of creatures in these cages. If there was a way I could maybe let a couple of them out, then that might mean that people are distracted whilst we get his ass out of here.
You are still invisible.
I am still invisible.
Why don't you do that? As soon as I hear anything, I will sneak over and try to save Bjorn.
Okay, so I'm going to go to like some of the cages that are on the other side of the clearing, on the other side of the wagon circle.
Okay, as the two of you start to make your move, all of you, including Bjorn, sort of an echo chamber in his head, you guys and Seyda in the distance, you hear shouts start to go up from the camp. You hear a sort of blood-curdling scream as if someone's just been killed. And then you hear everyone shouting in common language, "She's free and she has her sword. How did it happen?"
Oh,
that's
there's our diversion.
Everyone starts like running around. So you're heading around the other side. You're waiting. You're sort of coming. You're sort of trying to get control. But I'll give you another save in a moment to see if you can or not. Seyda, you see all that going off. So.
I heard all the everything going off, so I decided to catch up with Hjani and
All right.
see what's happening.
Okay,
Should I
Seyda
still
comes bounding
sneak?
up behind you. Do you want to sneak still?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your move silently roll?
+5.
Okay, you need to beat 15. Oh no, you know what? You're in the dark, you're outside of the ring, and it's chaos, so you need to beat 12. The lowest.
19.
Okay, so let's say that you and Seyda then, following Hjani's lead, the two of you run, sort of keeping a little low, and you reach the edge of the wagon circle without being detected. Inside, you can see Arpitani Whiteblade, longsword in hand, fighting incredibly skillfully, literally like chasing them around as they try to regroup, but some of them are pulling out their cudgels. The 4 hobgoblin guards are sort of like looking in, wondering what to do, and the weird cleric with a kind of silver sort of head encompassing helmet on is just sort of looking across the flames, sort of like with sort of uncomfortable stillness and lack of worry. But like shouts are going up, and you realise that it's going to be a matter of a few rounds before other people in the town may or may not come to see what's happening. So you are now there poised and no one knows you're there. And you, in a similar situation, around the opposite side.
Okay, so I'm on the other side of this melee that's
Yeah.
going on.
That's right. You're sort of like around the back of where the 4 hobgoblins are standing, but they have no idea you're there because you're invisible.
I have a question. If I cast any spells, does that also get rid of the invisibility?
If it's an attack on someone or you touch them physically.
Okay, so a ranged attack would do that as well.
Yeah. Bjorn, make your final attempt at a saving throw to see if you can come around. You got to beat 12. Willpower.
5. That's a 7 with my 2 willpower.
You're still tripping balls. You're still lolling around. You're like lolling around in the back of that cart still, basically.
Which was covered in poop on the floor.
Yeah, you're kind of rolling around in all the whatever animals poop
I'm
and
just
straw
making
that was.
sure.
Yeah. Just let's be clear about that. Seyda and Hjani, what are your actions now?
Drag him out of the cart.
Okay, you two start to.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. I was gonna. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
You were going to officer and a gentleman me again?
Oh no! I was just gonna leave you in there and then go fight. But let's get you out the cart.
Okay, you drag Bjorn out of the cart, and then Onas, what's your action?
I'm just gonna wander about. I'm gonna keep close to them in case they need any kind of backup. But
You're on the other side to them.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stay here and keep an eye on the princess.
Okay, here's what happens next then. You get Bjorn out, you're keeping an eye out. You see it seems to calm down. Here's what's
I've
happening
gone
now,
see.
okay? Here's what you see. In the middle, the hobgoblin guards, the 4 of them, still stay at the far side. The acolytes part. Arpitani sort of stands in the middle near the fire, sort of eyeballing them all. And the cleric, the sort of high priest guy, sort of walks forward. And you see he's got his cloak. He pulls his cloak around. It's more like a robe, and it's kind of shimmering and night black. And he puts his hands together and he focuses. And you see pop up out of the ground all around Arpitani. You see 6 animated skeleton warriors just appear out the ground. And then, out of the ground behind him, is another skeleton, which is clearly not from a human, but some kind of, like, much larger humanoid, like a 7-foot-tall skeletal humanoid bent over with huge bones and a massive club, which kind of just stands off his shoulder like a personal bodyguard. And then you hear, he's saying something you can't quite hear because he has this really horrible raspy voice. And you see that Arpitani is now surrounded by these 6 skeleton warriors, and everyone else is sort of like watching from behind, and he sort of hisses like, surrender, with this weird raspy voice coming out of his strange silvery head. That's what you see happen. And she looks hesitant.
We've all seen this.
Yeah, you're all still undetected, but this is what you see, and she does look hesitant. She's surrounded on like space 6 of these skeletal warriors, and this guy looks really formidable, and he's got this sort of personal bodyguard skeleton, and you're all looking at this.
Well, this is a quandary, isn't it?
And Bjorn, you feel yourself starting to come round.
Right, well, I'm going to check out any of the cages near to me and see if they've got creatures in them. If they have, I'm going to let those things out just in the hopes that they'll cause some kind of distraction.
Looking
again.
at the 2 cages near to you, you see that one of them has a large, fat man covered in hair all over his body and his face.
Right.
And another one has a really, 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 like, tiny little person who you assume is the sort of shortest person alive thing, but when you see it's just a rather scrawny halfling.
Right. Not great, ferocious animal distractions then. Okay. Well, I've checked those out. I guess that's me done.
Now, while the DM opens a bottle of water there and sips it, what do Hjani and Seyda plan together before you have to give an action?
Drag him to the tree line.
Yeah, we do have to deal with
Yeah.
this situation.
Yeah.
I'm coming around, you guys.
Yeah, let's wait until he's come around.
Did
and
you just say blah, 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 blah?
You are
Yeah.
around.
And
around.
also, I mean,
Who said
6
that?
skeletons, crazy skeleton giant. I kind of want to see what happens next before I start rushing in, as much as I like to destroy things.
Yeah, all of the skeletons. Let's.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to kill her.
I hope not.
Like she was in a cage.
At that exact moment, the High Priest Agonosphos' raspy voice says, "So be it. If you won't surrender, you will die." And she looks at him and goes, "Fuck you."
I think we're going to have to fight these giant skeleton things.
All right. Bjorn, you got it together?
Yeah. For the 4th time. Yeah.
Let's go.
It's been 40 minutes. We don't know what's been up with you. So anyways, all right, fine.
Let's smash some
We
bones.
drop him.
Okay, you get dropped, you come around. And the skeletons start to slowly enclose on Arpitani, who's sort of keeps switching around with her sword, wondering, what's going to happen. So, actions. Bjorn.
I'm going to take a shot at one of these guys. One of these
The skeletons.
skeletons. I take a shot at one of them.
With your bow. Hjani.
My deal.
Yeah, I duck around to the wagon thing and then also ready rapid shot at the head priest guy.
Okay, both shots at the
Both
head priest guy.
shots at the head
Seyda.
priest guy.
I'm going to use my throwing axes on the head priest guy.
Okay, you're going to go for him too as well. Okay, Onas.
I'm summoning a fiendish raven of evil.
Okay, so you summon your fiendish raven, which is ready to fly at people. I know it looks weak on paper, but it can do things like distract, claw at eyes, all kinds of stuff.
I'm all about distraction today. That's
Okay, so let's start with Bjorn's shot at one of the skeletons approaching Arpitani. So you guys spring into action first. You have Surprise! They are technically flat-footed, so that means they have an armor class of 11.
I need to know what that second dose did to me. Did it add another 10 HP?
You don't feel any different.
Oh, damn it. All right. Anyway.
That's a short bow plus what?
Short bow plus 5,
Yeah.
plus 6. So 8 plus 6. 14. Thank you.
Roll the damage, please.
1. Oh, plus 1. 2.
2. Okay. So you basically like smash through one of the skeletons and it takes some damage, but it's it doesn't feel too bad. As far as you can tell for an
I don't knock
animated
its head off,
skeleton.
and then it like looked around for its head, and then it picks it up and puts it back in its body.
No, nothing quite like that yet. Okay, Hjani, you're trying to like fire through this group and trying to hit Agonosphos, and it's -2 for the rapid shot, right?
Yep.
His AC is in fact only 12.
Oh,
He's
okay.
wearing the robes, padded armor only. He's not didn't seem to be wearing heavy armor.
So it's plus 6 with the -2. And... Oh, sorry about that. 12 plus 6 is 18.
Okay, you
That's the
fire off
first
2 rapid shots. The first one hits him, and the second one.
12 plus 6 is 18 again.
Okay, 2 Hjani arrows go whizzing through the scene, burying themselves into this guy.
So 4. I'm going to try to contain this one.
You get +1 from the composite longbow,
yes.
right? So that's 5.
Actually, yes. So 5, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. So 8 altogether.
8 points of damage. Okay, your 2 arrows come flying out the darkness and stick into his midsection and send him reeling back, and he sort of positions himself behind the large skeleton. It's not a giant. I mean, it's about 7 foot tall, which is big, but not a human. It's a skeleton of some other larger creature. Okay, so he positions himself behind and starts looking over in your direction. Seyda, as he's doing that, you're going to try and get him your throwing axe. What's your
Throwing
bonus?
axe is +6.
Okay.
6 plus 6 is 12.
12 exactly on him. So as he tries to get behind, you also throw an axe into him from long range.
1d6 plus 2.
Yep.
3 plus 2 is 5.
5. So he's heavily hit already. And he gets behind this sort of large bodyguard skeleton. Onas, what you've conjured up that raven,
Yep,
right?
the raven's flapping about.
Okay, so at that point, 2 of the skeletons. Now, what skeletons do in 3.5 is they have, like in horror movies where they're sort of moving slow and sort of clanking and then suddenly hiss and burst into scary, unbelievable sprints at you. They have really high initiative. So 2 of them just go flying at Arpitani and she starts fighting them. Then as for the other 4, they sort of turn to where the arrows came from and start sprinting towards you 3, like sprinting over to where you are sort of appearing out the wagons, basically. So let's roll for initiative. The skeletons, who get +5 initiative, roll a 13 plus 5 is 18.
Ooh.
Ah, damn.
So I also have a +5 initiative, but I only roll a 9.
Okay, let me just make a note. Hjani's 9. Skeletons were 18. Seyda?
So
I have a +7. And I rolled a
20. Good
20.
Awesome. So you're obviously top there. And Bjorn.
I have a +3. That's a 23.
So you guys are super fast and you can get in first attack. So let's go with Seyda. The skeleton's AC is 13.
Okay.
You meet one of the onrushing skeletons as all shit goes down, all hell breaks loose across the nighttime carnival scene.
As I draw my trusty greatsword. Greatsword is +5 and that's an 18.
Okay, roll the damage.
2d6. 2d6, a 3 and a 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7.
One of these onrushing skeletons that thinks it's oh so scary, hissing and breaking into a scary sprint at you, meets your swinging sort of 5 feet of steel, and you just break it into, you shatter it like a cheap vase, basically. Okay, Bjorn.
I'm gonna short bow the mask. Oh wait, or is he hidden right now?
Skeletons are charging you.
I know that.
Okay, so no turning back time. You're still trying to hit him from behind this big... I mean, you're probably going to hit this... I mean, you could try to shoot him through the gaps in the bones of the skeleton.
I'm going to do what I can.
That would only happen if you rolled a natural 20. Otherwise, you're going to hit his cover, but go for it.
Hitting his cover is just as good. All right, so that's an attack bonus of +5.
On a 12.
+1 with my highness.
Okay.
All right. So that's 11 plus 6. That's 17.
So you make the hit, but it it crashes into this large ogre skeleton. For how much damage?
All right. It's 4, 5 altogether.
For 5 points of damage. Okay. Which brings us around to Onas before I go back for the skeletons.
Yep. Well, I'm doing the ravens.
What are you doing with your raven?
The raven is going to go and try and distract the skeletons that are running towards
Bjorn.
Yeah.
So you're going to let it sort of flap around and attack the
doing
skeleton.
a bit of flapping, a bit of scratching. You probably can't scratch their eyeballs out, seeing as they don't have any. But
So now it's the skeletons and then it's Hjani. So 3 skeletons are still heading towards you, to 1 for each of you. 1 skeleton runs towards Bjorn, holding its rusty short sword aloft. But at that moment, a celestial raven, a fiendish raven, buzzes around its head and scratches at its eyeless sockets, distracting it enough that it doesn't get its attack on you.
Thanks, Caw.
Seyda, what's your AC?
18.
Okay, so skeleton is short sword +1. It rolls a 6. You are just too deft for it. And Hjani, what's your AC?
My AC is 17.
That is a 19 +1 is 20. Stabs you with its short sword for 3 points of damage.
Ouch.
Okay, bringing us back round to Seyda.
Oh. I guess I'm going to hit one of these skeletons again. 10 plus 5 is 15.
Okay, you hit.
1d6, 2d6. 5, 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7.
Okay, you smash another one into pieces. There are
This is
2.
fun.
There are 2 left. So let's go to Bjorn. It's distracted. What are you going to do?
All right, I'll take a shot at it.
It's
with my
it's too close for you to take a shot. Oh, your short sword. I thought you were going to say your short bow.
Oh, no, I did say my short bow, but I guess I will...
It's too close for your bow now, but you've got time to draw a weapon as it's distracted.
That's cool. I'll use my short sword then, in that case.
Okay, I'm going to give you... Its armor class is coming down to 10 as it's being distracted
I've got
by
a
the bird.
+2, +1, a +3 attack bonus. So that's a 4, 5, 6, 7.
Plus your base attack bonus?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, so you fail
Yeah.
to hit it. Well, you stab at it and it just goes through the gaps in the bones and...
If you had a heart, you'd be dead.
That's right, and does nothing. Hjani, a skeleton is on you.
All right, I take out my longsword of frost.
Okay, its AC is 13.
I have a +7 to my longsword of frost. And I just hit 15, so 15 plus 7
It's a
is
hit.
22. Yep. My longsword is 1d8 plus 2 plus 1d6 cold damage. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and then plus the cold damage, which is 11.
11. But your magical sword Frost sings through the air and just smashes right through the center of its body, leaving icy chunks on the floor.
I see chunks of
Hey,
bone.
I see chunks on the floor.
That's right. So you see that Arpitani has taken a hit, but one skeleton is dead and she's still fighting one. Meanwhile, there's only one in front of you guys, currently being distracted by a...
can that raven get a
Fiendish
little
raven.
attack in as well?
It can. What's its attack?
Oh, it's got its claws, so it's claws +4 with 1d2 of damage.
And the AC is 13.
The AC of the skeleton. Okay,
Yeah, roll for your fiendish,
Here's
celestial fiendish raven.
take this, you fiend. 8 plus
4 is 12, right?
12. Yeah.
Yeah, it claws away, but it's not seeming to do any damage on this magical animated skeleton. You see Agonosvos hiss, point his hand as he clutches his wounds, and the skeleton ogre goes, the ogre skeleton goes into another kind of horror-type skeleton hiss and sprint towards you guys. But of course, you have time to act and choose to meet it halfway or take an action before it comes. But also, there's still one skeleton flapping around in front of fighting with this raven, so it's going to try and hit your raven. What's the AC?
I think it's 14. Hang on. Yep, 14 AC.
Okay, short sword +1. 10 + 1 is 11. No, it can't get its vision out. So, who wants to sort of administer the coup de grace?
Actually, I think Bjorn can handle it. I'm gonna rush after
I'm gonna take the big
ogre
one.
skeleton.
The ogre skeleton's coming in on you. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to go for Masky. Whatever. All right, I'll take this little guy, this distracted skeleton.
You can only miss with a natural 1.
I might surprise you. Short sword. That's 4 + 2, 3. 4 + 2 is 5.
Roll the damage.
Oh, Jesus. I'm losing it.
Well, let's just for the sake of the listener. I don't know how this is going to come out later. It's getting late and we're all really tired. But we've got to get to the end of this because it's kind of awesome from a gameplay point of view. But yeah, we are losing it. Just disclaimer, we are losing it. Bjorn,
I
go.
rolled a 7
for the damage in total.
for attack.
For attack, roll the damage, please. What is your damage roll? Declare it.
1d6. And that's a 4.
And you got your newfound
Well, yeah, okay.
Bonus.
4 + 1, that's 5 total.
5 total. Okay, you smash it.
Yay!
So in the meantime, did I hear that Hjani and Seyda are going to rush the
Yep.
oncoming skeleton? Let's roll initiative. It gets 10 + 5 is 15.
I get 12 + 7 is 19.
I get a 14 + 5, which is also 19.
Okay, Seyda, its armor class is 13.
Okay. Let's greatsword it. That's a 9 + 5. 14.
Okay, you smash it. Roll the damage. By the way, everyone else, like the acolytes and the hobgoblins, are just like watching this in awe. They seem afraid of the skeletons. They don't want to enter the circle.
A 6 and a 4 + 2 is 12.
12 points of damage. Okay, you smash into it, cracking a few of its ribs, but it's still going.
Me.
Hjani,
All right, I have a +7, so
AC 13.
13 + 7, 20.
You hit it with your
Frost.
amazing-looking frost magic sword.
All right, and my frost is a 1d8 + 2, and then +1d6 cold damage. So it is a 3 + 2, which is 5, and then 5 cold damage, so 10 altogether.
10 altogether. It sustained 22. You've taken big chunks and smashed several of its bones, but it's still lunging about. Who's it going to lunge back at? I'll roll this dice. Odds, Seyda, evens, Hjani. It's a 6. It's evens. Hjani, it turns and swings a huge club made out of, like a massive sort of tree branch with a big knot on the end at you. Large club +4. What's your...
no, 17.
17. It gets a 2. It swings this huge club and you just duck under it.
Yes.
Bjorn, you notice Agonosphos walking purposely towards you across the back of the scene, eyes focused on you, hand out. And all of a sudden, here's what happens as he looks. All of you hear a massive, piercing, screeching sound in your ears, so powerful, it's almost going to drop you to your knees, and you just feel... And everyone, in fact, all of his acolytes are all falling down. It's a second-level cleric spell called Sound Burst. And it's just blasting out like you're just, torture level. And what that does is makes the DM realize he didn't write down the details of what it does. I'm sure I did somewhere. I would do one of those things where I say what somebody's saying while this is happening, but all you're doing is going like, and grasping your
I
ears.
say, do you guys hear something?
You're all getting this sort of sound burst, gets blasted into all your ears. Everybody takes 1d8 damage. So I'm going to start with Hjani. That's 2. Bjorn. That's 5. Seyda. That's 2. And Onas, because although you can't be seen, you can hear. That is 7. As your ears bleed. And everyone has to make a DC 15 fortitude save not to be stunned for 1 round. So, Hjani, what's your fortitude bonus?
My fortitude bonus is 3.
Okay.
12 + 3, 15.
Okay, you managed to keep your feet and, not be stunned in front of this huge ogre skeleton with a massive club for pounding you. Go.
Bjorn. I'm Bjorn, and my fortitude bonus is 1.
I did it again.
That's a 17 plus 1. That's an 18.
You also do not get stunned.
Mine is a 5. That's 4. Ow.
You fall to the ground stunned for the next round, losing an action. Onas.
So my fortitude bonus is.
Yeah, if
2?
you fail this, you become visible as well.
Oh, really? Okay. I got a 19.
Was that a 19?
That was a
my
19.
God, all right.
Not
Plus
only
a 2.
do you not get stunned, you keep your concentration enough to stay invisible. Although it's a potion,
yeah,
so yeah.
Concentrated, but
You kind of do.
but still,
Concentrate
I keep my
for the
cool.
drink.
You use your sorcerer natural ability to not let it break your spell.
Yeah.
So only Seyda is stunned, and he's going to keep coming for you, basically. Hjani, you're fighting this thing by yourself. Your next attack, it's AC 13.
All right, great. Longsword again, plus 7 attack bonus. 3 plus 7, no, 10.
10, you do not hit. And it swings back at you with its giant club plus 4. What's your AC?
My AC is 17.
That's a 17 plus 4 is 21. It bats you with its club for 1d6 plus 2 damage. 6. 4 plus 2 is 6.
Ouch.
Okay, Bjorn, this guy is like coming towards you,
Mhm.
his hand outstretched, looking as if it's coming for your heart. You get one action before he arrives. What is it? Say now.
Throw a dagger.
Okay, his AC is 12.
Okay. My attack bonus is plus 5 with my thrown dagger. 13 plus 5 is 18.
You throw a dagger at him. Roll the damage, not forgetting he's been hit by 2 arrows and a throwing axe.
So 1d4. So 4, 5.
5. He comes at you. He outstretches his hand. You almost feel the aura around it as he comes in for the death touch. You pull out your dagger. He's got this weird mask on. You take aim. You steady your head, your bleeding ears, and you throw the best throw you've ever had. It spins through and goes blade first right through the eye hole of the skull mask, hilt deep, and he immediately drops down dead, face down dead on the ground. And
Thus forcing the dagger further into his eye hole.
yes, and you can feel pretty good about that.
Bullseye hole.
At which point, the ogre skeleton ceases to move and falls into a pile of bones. Now,
Thank goodness.
That's 2
Arpitani
for me.
looks around. You all look at each other, except you don't know where the fuck Onas is.
You can see some like ear blood on the ground.
And your fiendish raven has now returned back to whence it came.
I look off like Ray Charles, just like, Onas, did you see that?
I'm
Now-
over here.
Now, guys, get ready to think fast, because at that moment, you all look at each other doing double takes. Arpitani looks at you, you look at her, you all realize you're kind of on the same team. And at that moment, what you notice is the acolytes and the hobgoblins are still backed out, sort of looking at the dead Agonosphos, not knowing what to do, looking at each other. Troops haven't arrived yet, so obviously they might, I don't know what they thought the sounds were, but nothing's happening just yet. But you got this moment where you're all looking at each other, and you're all going to be able to do a 5 seconds of conferring, and then one action each before whatever happens next happens. But you're all looking at each other in anticipation, like what's going to happen next. So I'm gonna count down 10 seconds in my head for you to discuss, and then I'm getting actions.
Run for the hills?
Let's intimidate them and get them to run to the hills.
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get out of here with our Pitani. Yeah?
You guys grab
There's a
Abitani,
mission.
I'll intimidate the hobgoblins
Go
and
for
get
it.
them
All
to
right.
Well,
Do
if
it,
you
do it,
really
do
want to, okay. We're
Okay.
grabbing her and, well, I'm not touching
Yeah.
it, but
You appear and join the group
Okay.
then, and you motion to Arpitani, who joins you, and you start hightailing it sort of west out of the circle, out of town. Right at that moment, as the others step forward to pursue, Seyda, fresh from smashing several skeletons into pieces and no longer stunned by the sound burst, you sort of, first of all, you motion to the dead Agonosphos, and you pick up your greatsword and you perform the web of death defensive skill move of all your strength, staring them down. And what's your intimidate skill?
My intimidate is +3.
Okay, I'm going to roll for them at a -3 because their leader has been killed quite cool and skillfully in front of them for their resistance to that. Oh, they rolled a 19. -3 is 16.
Yes.
So to intimidate them and not let them engulf you in a onrushing wave of
Oh dear.
troops, you have to beat 16. You got +3, right?
I rolled an 11 +3 is only 14.
Okay, so here's what happens. Seyda stands between them, making her web of death one-handed with a huge greatsword. You guys get Arpitani, you hightail it out. You break the wagon circle out into the darkness. You hightail it. You run. Let's flee. Let's get out of here. Don't worry about any rocks or clefts. We'll just keep running. And you're running and you're running and you're running. You get free of the town, and you feel that, for now, there's no, no one's going to chase you. And you sort of look around. You look left. You look right. No Seyda.
What? Crap. Does anyone... Oh, I need to healing ball myself a little bit, but I guess we have to...
How are you feeling?
Cold, yeah. Well, I do need to healing ball myself.
Guys,
oh, well.
I'm still at 18 HP, so I'm going to hightail it back.
We're not going to say what happened to you just yet, okay?
Yeah, maybe you should sneak back and see what's going on with her. If she's dead, then you can sneak back here. If she's not... Well, you should still sneak back here and get us.
By the way, I'm Arpitani, by the way, who seems really like thin but really spry and nimble, and she could really swing that sword. She's got the family resemblance of the White Blade family. Very sort of like oddly narrow chin and sunken eyes, though, like junkie style. A bit twitchy and nervous, but when she speaks, she's got a really like flinty deep voice as well. I know, which I'm probably not going to be able to imitate too well at this point with my nasal, whiny British voice. But she looks at you guys and said, okay, look, the way I see it, we've got 3 options here for fleeing. 1, I don't know about you, but when I was being brought here, I saw a fucking dragon in the sky. And I think it came from the north. No, from the south. Anyway, another one is, I heard that they've got a fucked up portal in another temple which takes you to a hidden fucking city where this religion comes from. We could fucking check that shit out. Or we could leg it back to my ornithopter. Get the fuck out. Talking of which, where is my ornithopter?
We know where it is.
We found it.
Why didn't you bring it?
We can't operate it.
Because you need to say the fucking code word.
Why would we know the code word?
Because it's Elven for golden bird.
Well, we've never even seen an ornithopter. Are you really going to argue with me about this?
What does it look like?
We hadn't seen it until we found it.
What did it look like when you saw it?
It was a golden bird.
Okay. So what are we doing?
You need to tighten up your password selecting skills.
All right, while they discuss with her, I sneak back. I'm sneaking back.
I didn't choose the password. I found it in a book in the library in the Nakiraka, and I just had to fucking try it.
Well, we didn't go to that library and look up the password, so how could we know?
Look, what are we doing? Let's get the fuck out of here.
No. We need to settle this password.
Guys, any second now, they're going to send the troops out. There's about 100 people in that town. Let's get the fuck out of here.
We have to figure out what's happened to our barbarian.
Yeah, I'm
to who?
Sneaking back.
Yeah, she's
now.
kind of useful.
Yep, sorry.
You're sneaking back?
Yeah, I'm sneaking back
Go,
as
go,
quickly
go.
as I can.
Okay.
That's a quick sneak.
You guys hold your positions. You start sneaking back. You get about halfway back when you see people gathering nearby the wagons and sort of lighting up torches and organizing search parties. You're going to have 1 chance. What's your move silently?
Oh, it's a +8.
And you got to beat 15. If you fail, you're going to get spotted by all these guys, okay?
Okay. It's 12 plus 8 is 20.
Okay, you manage to sneak. You see what looks to be 40 to 50 troops, half human, half hobgoblin, getting equipmented up and lighting torches and getting ready to form search parties. As you get close, though, you look back into the wagon circle and you see that Seyda got surrounded by 15 people, all armed, and she is sort of surrendered and they're sort of binding her up right now.
Oh.
Fuck. Seyda ain't so.
No.